Okay, I'm going to try to talk about. I believe that the best way to describe me is William Shakespeare so brilliantly wrote, "And though she be but little, she is fierce." For even though I am shy of 5 feet tall, I am not afraid to state what I believe and stand up for myself. I am 18 years old and am currently a senior at Mandan High School. So far, my plans for after high school are not finalized. I've applied to Black Hills State University in Spearfish, South Dakota, Montana State University in Bozeman, Montana, and of course, NDSU in Fargo. All of those colleges have accepted me, but I'm undecided as to which one I want to attend. I plan on double majoring in English and history to become either high school English or a history teacher. I will also get my teaching certificate. One thing I would love to do while in college is study abroad in either England, Ireland, or Australia. Studying abroad has always been one of my dreams, and since I will be majoring in English, I would also love to move out of the United States and teach English to other students in another country for a while. I also hope to travel as much as possible while I'm in college, so that once I graduate, I will be able to find a job and settle down for a while, and hopefully save up enough money to travel more after a few years. Some places I would like to visit are Ireland, England, Australia, and several other countries in Europe, including Spain, Austria, Norway, and Germany. Last summer, I was able to go on a trip with our French club to France for 10 days. Although I've already been there, I would love to go back one day and explore the southern coast since we only covered the northern coast. The European cultures have always fascinated me, and the history of those countries holds something that I really take interest in. There are several places I would love to visit in the United States as well. For example, one of the reasons I applied to Bozeman is because I love the access I would have to the Rocky Mountains and also to the West Coast. Besides places out west, I plan on visiting all of the national parks in America. It's one of my bigger goals in life. Besides traveling, I also enjoy reading. There is always a book I'm working on. My absolute favorite book of all time is Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine. I have read it at least 7 times, and the binding is taped over with masking tape. Another favorite book, and also my favorite movie of all time, is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. I can say every line along with the characters while watching the movie. One thing that I've always enjoyed doing is public speaking. As a 6-year-old, I was forced to go in front of an audience and recite the Pledge of Allegiance and the 4-H Pledge for a competition. Ever since then, my speaking abilities have blossomed, and I have been the announcer for several school functions and athletic events. One of my favorite speeches I've ever given was in front of an audience of 300 at our annual Extension Youth Conference banquet for 4-H at NDSU. I gave one of my humorous interp speeches for a competitive high school speech after competing with other 4-H members for the opportunity. This year, as Mandan High School's senior class president, I will also be speaking at our graduation. 4-H has always been a huge part of my life. I began as a Cloverbud when I was 6 years old and have been a member ever since. This past summer, I ran for the position of North Dakota 4-H ambassador, which you can get into when you are 16 and you age out at the age of 22. As an ambassador, I help out at 4-H events throughout the state. We mainly work in our home counties, but traveling is often something you have to do. Each year, we put on a 4-day retreat at NDSU campus for older 4-H members. There, we do workshops, we have a speaker, play games, do a service project, and we end the week with a banquet where they announce the new ambassadors. We also have 3 retreats each year, one in the spring, winter, and summer. Family is also a huge part of my life. My grandparents on my dad's side had 18 children, 9 boys and 9 girls. They grew up on a ranch outside of Watauga, South Dakota. One of the best things about having such a big family is our family reunion. It's always super fun, especially since I have over 100 first cousins. Also, my dad has some rather interesting stories that he tells about growing up on the ranch. On my mom's side, she has 2 siblings, and they were raised in McIntosh, South Dakota, which is about 10 miles north of Watauga, where my dad grew up. I have one brother who is currently a senior at Montana State University in Billings. Our family has always been interested in exploring and trying new things. We love to hike, kayak, hunt, and go rock climbing, which my brother introduced to us about 2 years ago. My brother Carter is my biggest role model, and he has always inspired me to be myself and always be open to new things. Sometimes, all you need is one person to inspire you to break open and spread your wings. It's because of him that I took an interest in speaking and being a 4-H ambassador. And I suppose he's part of the reason that the Shakespeare quote from earlier describes me so well.